Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel. And Manchester United's transfer season is starting to hot up with news on Marc Cucurella, Sofyan Amrabat, Donny Van De Beek, bit of news on Raphael Varane's injury, and there's even incomings and outgoings in your avenue.
Yeah, the incomings and outgoings there of the avenue as I went straight over the handlebars, done a forward roll twice, but I recovered. So, lots of news here, Kieran. Absolutely, it's just flying in.
Yeah, that'll teach you though to wear a helmet next time, so you don't have to start doing them forward rolls thinking he's Rambo. But yeah, let's get stuck into this news on Marc Cucurella first. It's looking bright, it's looking promising that a deal could be done today.
Yeah, it's looking bright if he actually brings the Brighton form with him. If he brings the Chelsea form with him, I think we'll get a duck egg. But Erik ten Hag must be looking at the Brighton form and think, right, I can get that out of you. And if he can, then fair enough. But I'm unsure about this. I don't think he's a good fit based on the Chelsea form, I honestly don't. I think it'll take him time to get up to fitness, up to match fitness, get used to playing with Man United. I don't see how we can get him to play even on Saturday, to be honest with you.
Well, playing on Sunday against Arsenal.
Sunday.
But I think with Cucurella, my only concern is that if Erik ten Hag does get a tune out of him this season, which you've got to look at most of the players he's signed, he has actually done that, ten Hag. And if we do that, what are we meant to do then? Send our rival a player back who we've rejuvenated his career and then to pop on at Chelsea. So there'll be a big decision to make at the end of the season if he does perform, Cucurella as well, if we do then sign him on a permanent deal.
Well, it's a bonus for Chelsea. They bought him for 60 odd million, sending a player to United, gets match fitness. They look at him, he's performing well, then they've got an opportunity then to bring him into the first team and get rid of whatever they've got there. Absolutely bang on for Chelsea, really. It's win-win-win, and especially with the discussion about what it's going to cost United to get him here.
We've got to look at, we've mentioned Mason Mount coming from Chelsea. I can't really pinpoint a lot of players who played really well for Chelsea last season.
No.
So Cucurella fits that same boat for me. But at Brighton, if we can get that sort of player here at Manchester United, I think it's a real good addition for Erik ten Hag's squad.
Yeah, if we get that player, and it's a big if. But the thing is, I look at it, if the Brighton form comes there, is an attacking defender, goes forward. My only concern about him is that when I've seen him, and I've not seen him that much to be honest, but all he ever seems to do defending wise, I think that's a poor way of defending with his arms behind his back in the penalty area. And it's not just once I've seen him do it, I've seen him do it on a regular basis. Yeah. I think his tackling is a bit weak, to be honest with you, but as a lone player, if he's got the Brighton form, then fine, let's have him. We need a left back. So at the end of the day, go and get him. But I think United might still be quibbling over the fee.
Yeah, I think it's something maybe that Cucurella may need as well, because he's obviously not settled in at Chelsea since he signed there. A big fee hanging over his head as well. Maybe for him to get away from Chelsea, come and play under Erik ten Hag, who wants to play an attacking style of football, possession-based as well. So it could very well suit Cucurella, because he likes to go forward. He gets the ball. He does look to go forward with the pass instead of going backwards or sideways as well.
Yeah, he's had a difficult time at Chelsea. Tuchel signed him. Potter then came in as the manager. And it all changed, so he has had a terrible time. He's not been able to settle out the door. That's how it looks to me, as though he is. He's been sidelined, needs refreshing. This might do the world of good for him. If Erik ten Hag can get something out of him, then fine. I'm happy with it. I just hope that he gets him back to the Brighton form.
To be honest with you, I want ten Hag to have a big decision to make as well.
Yeah.
That when Luke Shaw does come back, that Cucurella's playing that well, that he's unsure whether to drop Cucurella to bring Luke Shaw back in. That would be a great decision for Erik ten Hag to have. A headache, of course, but a great decision to have.
Well, I look at the Luke Shaw when he was under pressure at left back. I mean, lots of people out there were screaming to get rid of him, and he fought back, and he came, and he had a purple patch of football when he was under pressure of losing his place. So this might be a good challenge going forward for Luke Shaw. He seems to me as though when there's a challenge on Luke Shaw, he does come back well. And that is the good thing, that when he is fit, we've got something to look forward to. He'll fight for that place and he'll regain it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, spot on there. Got a analysis on that one, thinking back with Luke Shaw. Because when Alex Telles did come to Manchester United, we did see the best of Luke Shaw. Like you say, he rises to the occasion when he's under a challenge, and hopefully we will see that and a good battle at left back. But there's a lot of people in the chat today mentioning Alvaro Fernandez. A lot of people in there want to see Alvaro Fernandez given a chance before Cucurella.
Yeah, I can understand that. I like the fella. I've seen him there in pre-season. Big, strong, good tackler, gets about the pitch. I don't see any reason why we can't keep him as backup to Delo, to be honest with you. I think Delo would be the answer as left back, but it's a long-term injury. We do need proper cover. Alvaro, if he came in, I wouldn't have any qualms about him. I think he'd do well. And I think young people, young lads who are determined to get in the team, once they've been given a chance, jump on it. They play better, they're stronger when they're in the first team and they're playing with better players. So he can only get better. And what I've seen of him, I think he would be okay. Would it be okay to come in against the Arsenal? No, I don't. I think Delo, for me, will be there. But there's games there where Alvaro Fernandez can come in and try and cement a place. Yeah. And to be honest with you, when you look at it, the surroundings and everything and the pressure, what's going on with that left-back position going forward, I think the young lad would progress, and I think he would just jump at it and grab it. I honestly do.
Yeah, me personally, I think with the signing of Cucurella, when he does come in by all reports, I think that's going to obviously put him at left back. Then you've got Malacia and Luke Shaw to come back.
Yes.
Delo can play left back, but he'll probably more than challenge Wan-Bissaka on the right. Now, if Fernandez wasn't to go out on loan, I think that would be it'd have a negative impact on his role going forward in the team, and I think it would be beneficial for him to go out on loan this season to a decent sized club. I think, me personally, it'd be good for him to get a Premier League club. You know, maybe one of the lower teams down there, if he could possibly get that, or a Championship team again like he did at Preston. I think that'd be good for him. Yeah,
I think with Luke Shaw's injury, I think the loan deal might be put off. It might be looked at again in January for him. A loan deal, he has to go to the right club, and I'm not too sure which club he'd end up at, but I think they might have to look at it again in January and keep him here now as cover again.
Yeah, maybe. Let us know what you think about Alvaro Fernandez. Would it be best for Ten Hag to keep him here in the squad until January, or do you think it'd be beneficial for him to move on and get a loan deal for the rest of the season? But there's a lot of people, like I say, mentioning Fernandez. Alex J 59 says, rather Fernandez over Cucurella. We're going to be nowhere near the top of the table, so give him a chance if needed.
I get that point. I would go with that personally, but the thing is, one more injury and we're in trouble. So bringing Cucurella in or any other left back is the right thing to do, to be honest with you.
Yeah, UTFR says Erik Ten Hag obviously doesn't fancy Alvaro because he sees him every day in training, and Erik Ten Hag must be seeing things that obviously we're not, and he just doesn't think he can get to that level at the moment. We've got Champions League football coming up as well, a few cup games in the mix as well.
I've heard Erik Ten Hag give him glowing reports about him, and it might be it's just that he needs to go out on loan, he needs to be elsewhere and then come back. He might just need a little bit more experience, according to Erik Ten Hag, but he is giving glowing reports. It just might not be the right time from Erik Ten Hag's point of view to bring him in, and it would be crunch time really because of the situation in the left back position with injuries.
Yeah, we will get onto that news on Sofyan Amrabat later on the video, so stay tuned for that one. But before we do, news on Raphael Varane. Good news, bad news kind of thing. It was being reported at the start it could be out for as long as 6 weeks, but now Simon Stone's just saying it's like just going to be a few weeks. So a little bit of good news.
Yeah, that's a little bit of good news, but it just seems to be getting worse and worse at United. Injury after injury, it just keeps happening. It's not the optimistic start to the season I wanted. These injuries will put United back. So looking at how United are going to cope with this, I think they're under big pressure. There are lots of games to come up. Carabao Cup, we've got the Champions League. We've got to fight every game in that league, every game. Having Varane out, but I expected Varane to be out a couple of times in the year anyway, miss a few games, but this injury, carrying it on, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, we had a chat off camera earlier on about Varane. He was one of the first to come out about this rule with added extra time in the Premier League, and he had big concerns over it, and all of a sudden he's out for a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what the injury is. I'm not sure if it's an old injury or a new injury. But the thing is, he did talk about the extra time playing football and all that. It's not beneficial to players. It's not beneficial for Varane because he can't play three games a week. So his body can't take 3 games a week. So the injury, another injury, seems to be picking him up, seems to have time out of the game. Problem Erik ten Hag has to look at. Centre-half definitely needs one. He isn't going to get one neither.
Okay.
He is not going to get one.
Alta, just going back on Cucurella, says he can't defend. Larkin Ward says, Varane is a big concern for me.
Yeah.
He's very injury prone and we should be looking at addressing that. Can't we get Todibo on a loan and sort out the transfer next summer? Now, I think when he's alluding to Todibo, I think that would be looked at if Harry Maguire was to leave the club. I don't think we can get anyone else in without people going out for a fee, do you?
I don't think we can get anybody in with a fee. I think what it is, it's now loan deals. That's how it's looking. And we're struggling to get the loan deals in. It's not easy. I don't know why. I don't know what work's being done. But it just looks all messy at the moment. Messy and carnage, to be honest. Carnage in the injury room. Carnage getting players in. Carnage trying to buy players. It's been very, very poor. Wasn't poor to start with. It's now just looking bleak. And to get players in now, I think we're going to really, really struggle. To get the right players anyway.
Yeah, I think we'll get some loan deals in, like you say, with Cucurella. Amrabat looks strong, and he is also mention of Ryan Gravenberch still from Bayern Munich as an option as well. So I do expect 2, maybe even 3 deals to be done, but the loan deals, not the deals that we'd preferably prefer. But just going back onto that question as well, do you think that situation with Varane, the amount of injuries he does get, it will be addressed in the summer and Erik ten Hag will go out and get a new centre-back?
I think it'll be next summer when he addresses that proper, when the funds are there, when the ownership's changed, when everyone's got a clear path of the future going forward. At the moment, I don't think Erik ten Hag can really plan 12 months in front, 6 months in front. He doesn't know what his left hand and his right hand's doing because of what's going on behind the scenes with the club. I think it's very, very difficult for him. And I did say the other week, he's working, and what he's working with is with his hands tied behind his back because there's no clear funds to go out there and target that player. Man United was always known as that's the player they're going for, and they just went and snapped him up. I think them days are over at the moment.
Yeah, I brought someone through the youth ranks, but just going on to Richie Club Sports comment in the chat, it says Cucurella has covered at centre-back for Brighton with Varane out and Martinez looking a shadow of his former self. It's a smart sign. He's also played left wing, Cucurella, so he's versatile and a player like Erik ten Hag likes. He likes players who are versatile in his squad.
I've never seen him play centre-back.
Play in a back three, he'll play on the left-hand side.
Well, you know, to me, I've not seen it at the Chelsea. And what I've seen of him at Brighton, I've just seen him as full-back. And I think he's done well at Brighton at full-back. I think he comes running inside, helps the midfield players out and goes out attacking. Staying at the back isn't what I see of Cucurella. He's an attacking full-back. That's how I see him.
Yeah, Keith in the chat says, what's the point in having a youth team if you're not going to give the youngsters a chance when you have injuries? I'm disappointed with Erik ten Hag regarding Alvaro Fernandez. Well, you know, he has given some of the youth team players a chance, especially in pre-season. You look at Kobbie Mainoo. I think he'd be a part of this first team squad if he wasn't injured. Garnacho as well starts him. You know, he started the first 3 games, Garnacho, wasn't it?
Yeah, Garnacho's there. Kobbie Mainoo.
Well, the first 2, shall I say.
Yeah, Kobbie Mainoo with his injury. I think what it was, I think he missed a trick last year, to be honest with you. Yeah. He wanted to win every game, and I think he still does want to win every game. And the thing is, he played his best 11, and I think there was opportunities last year in many games, in the cup games and everything, to introduce these youngsters. So I think we're behind the curve here on seeing what these young lads can do with better players around them. That's the trick, what was missed. And I think the way it is now with the injuries, the way the players are going and the pressure what's on, the style of play, Ten Hag's asking for more from his first team, and I think it's a little bit of a worry now if he starts trying to play one or two more youngsters in this team. I think he's missed a trick. I think he's just got to wait for it to settle down, and then hopefully in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup these lads get a game, or if there's a dead rubber, hopefully there's a dead rubber in the Champions League to give these kids the experience. He missed out on it last year, and it was an opportunity. I look at some of the games what were played yesterday in the Carabao Cup. There was teams there what made 9 changes and all that. Eric Ten Hag doesn't do that. That's the problem these young lads have got.
I know it's the correct way, but will you stop saying Carabao? Because I like it when you say Caribou instead.
Oh, right, Caribou.
I actually like that a lot better.
I'll stick to Caribou.
Yeah, cheers. Going back into the chat, Salford 6. Eric Ten Hag has well and truly been screwed by the leeching owners. Reports saying he wanted Kane as a main target, and doesn't sound like we even bid for him. More frustration until we sell the club.
I've said it many times, we never bid for Kane. The money's not there. Can't go bid for these top players. The owners just can't facilitate any big transfers and go into the transfer because there's no money. Simple as that. It's been poor from that side of it, but the deals he has done up until the last couple of weeks have been very good. I thought getting the goalkeeper was a must because of the situation with David De Gea. That's a situation I actually didn't think was going to arise, but he went and dealt with it. He knew the player, got him. And it's good going forward.
Yeah, I don't think Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag were actually planning for a new goalkeeper either.
No.
I think certain results all towards the end of the season had them worrying.
No, I don't think he was planning for it, and unfortunately it's used up X amount of what we ended up paying of the budget. Yeah. Very, very disappointing, but that's the way it is. He's dealt with it, but he just can't deal with everything because the owners aren't backing him.
Yeah, going on to that news on Sofyan Amrabat as well, it's looking like Manchester United are wanting him on loan rather than a permanent deal to FFP restrictions.
If I was Fiorentina and I was listening to that news, I would be absolutely fuming. I can't believe that this conversation about Amrabat has gone on and on. It's clear Amrabat wants United, that's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that United want him. I think he's a good player, but the thing is, they want him on loan. Well, what they're going to do? Ask him to come on loan, and then in January ask him to sign a pre-contract, and then sign him up proper in the summer. Well, Fiorentina will be absolutely fuming, and if I was them, I would pull the plug on it because they've just been had right over for the last two and a half months with conversations about Manchester United wanting to buy him. Clever by United if it works out.
I was going to say on the positive, if it actually works out, because Amrabat is actually an important player for Fiorentina.
Yes.
It's not as though like, you know, I don't want to diss him too much. It's not like a Donny Van De Beek to Manchester United. He's important to them. Yeah. And if Manchester United were to get him on a loan deal and then sort out a pre-contract agreement in January or whenever they can do and get him next season on a free, that's fantastic business in my eyes. But, you know, they're pushing the curve, I think, United, and doing this. And, you know, the rumoured fee that they want for him is around about £21 million I last seen. So it's peanuts really on a player we actually need.
Yeah, it's a player we need. £21 million, not a lot of money in the big picture, but in United's case, it looks as though like the penny pinching, and they've come up with an idea of getting him. They've obviously talked to Amrabat many times with his associates and that, and it's clear he wants Man United and he's not going anywhere. Training on his own, away from the first team, he's not playing football, so that's a bit of a worry. Might take him a few weeks to get up to task, but the way they're doing it, you know, some people would say that's very, very sneaky, but I think needs must.
I've not seen like any reports on it, but with you saying he's training alone, do you think that's a decision from Fiorentina, or do you think it's a refusal from Amrabat to join the first team squad? Because if it's a refusal from Amrabat, that'd worry me a little bit, an attitude like that coming into the dressing room. We've seen a lot of players like that over recent years who've got the potential to down tools here at Manchester United.
I don't know what it is. I think Amrabat's made it clear he wants Man United and he's going there.
You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think Fiorentina came to the conclusion we've got to sell him. He's going. He doesn't want to be part of their team. So let's sell him. Let's get something for him. But now it's dragged on and on and on. And Fiorentina look as though they're having the pants pulled down. And I would be fuming. I wouldn't sanction it if I was them.
Yeah, Jam United, cheers for your super chat, mate. You're saying, what's happening, guys? I'm having to super chat to get involved. Sorry, mate, the super chat is, well, the chat is absolutely popping off. It's on fire. There's some great comments in there, but I've not seen you yet. So get involved, get your opinion in, and I'm sure I'll read something out of yours before we finish this video. But yeah, on Amrabat, there's also discussions like we've seen from that tweet from David Ornstein. Gravenberch is still an option. Amrabat is not necessarily the #1 choice for Ten Hag.
It might not be, but I think looking at the Gravenberch there, I think it's a little bit too late to go for him. I don't think the work's been done on it. It's 21.
Yeah.
Ten Hag's worked with him before, last year of his
Ajax.
Ajax, and I think it might be something they're going to work on at a later date. If it can be done, fine. But I think with the amount of work what's being done there, with loan deals, what are needed, with players to bring in, players to get out, I think this is a little bit too late. But who knows what's going on? We've got 2 days to go after today. Anything can happen. But what's happening at the moment is just news after news, work after work. Things are just happening, and anything can happen here.
Yeah, Bowling Gaz says in the chat, and it's something I've still not seen in any articles or from any journalists talking about it, that what is the actual max spend we can actually spend in the transfer window before it becomes a problem with FFP? Because no one's actually giving a rough figure on what can and can't be spent. And he's saying in the chat as well that the FFP argument is dead when they don't sell McTominay and Maguire, who would be all profit as an academy product. Well, McTominay would.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I've not seen any stat what says that's the limit.
Yeah.
That's what you can pay.
If there's anyone out there who does know or seen anything, drop it in the chat as well, because I'd like to have a read of it, to be honest.
Listen, it might be just a blag. Might be
From
a
the
blag.
Glaziers not to spend that much money.
Yeah, it might be a blag not to spend that much money. Who knows? Until you see an actual figure, none of us know, and I'm unsure. It just may be a blag that we can't spend anymore. The facts might be that we've still got a room there to spend 30, 40, 50 million. I don't know.
Yeah, Joe Buckley in the chat says Amrabat was meant to join Barcelona last January. Deal fell through. I think he's because he told the club he wanted to go last January. So now that's why he's, blaming the club, training on his own. And, if that is the case...
Well, he's in his last year of his contract, isn't he? Yeah. So Fiorentina would want to get something, knowing if that is right, that he wanted to go to Barcelona last year. They were looking at him, and now United are looking at him, and he's agreed to come to United. Then Fiorentina would want to sell him.
Yeah, moving on to some other news as well. Donny Van De Beek. Man United have accepted a loan offer from FC Lorient in France. What's your thoughts on that, a loan offer again?
A loan offer? Well, it says everything, doesn't it, about Donny Van De Beek. I don't really personally see Donny Van De Beek going there. Don't think he'd be happy with it. A real step down from where he thought he was going to be with Manchester United, but he hasn't done it here. He needs to get game time. United clearly cannot offer him and sell him anywhere. A loan deal is the only option, and I don't think he'll take that. I think it's a step down for him as he sees it.
Do you see it that way though? Because for me, I've not seen enough from Donny Van De Beek to say he's better than FC Lorient, and I'm just being truthful.
Well, what I see is clearly a player what can't produce it in the Premier League. I also see a player on high wages. I also see that we're never going to get the money back for him, and I can't see anybody paying that amount of money. I can't see anybody paying that amount of wages for Donny Van De Beek. I think, unfortunately, what you might see here is a year-on-year thing of trying to loan Donny Van De Beek until his contract runs out. I just don't see any interest whatsoever, and there's nothing out there on the football field to tell me that any club is looking for a Donny Van De Beek player who has not performed, and definitely hasn't performed. I don't care what anyone says. I've not seen him perform in the first team of what I expected, and is a very big disappointment.
Lee Jones, he goes, this is Manchester United, and the way we are acting makes us look like a League One side. It's getting embarrassing. Let us know what you actually mean by that, mate. A little bit of context behind it. Do you mean it's because we're going for loan signings, etc.? But, do you get that feeling at all? I'm not sure about a League One side.
I get where he's...
I think you're a bit frustrated, obviously.
I get where he comes from. It just looks chaotic, unruly. There's no direction of where we're going, what we're doing. Doesn't seem to be a plan behind it. It did seem that way a while ago, but it just seems now as though it's like a scattergun approach, desperate stakes and all that. But to be honest with you, when you look at the injuries we've got, it is desperate stakes. Something has added to what was going on, and it's not looking good. I agree with on that stage. But who envisaged what was going to happen? I'm very surprised. I'm also very disappointed at what's going on. I think it will derail United as we go on. I looked at United and thought, right, we've got a good chance early season, get in there, and I think this could derail us.
Yeah, it's going back into the chat. DJ Superfly guy, nice one, that mate. Told you all this channel was going to blow up, and the lads get the credit they deserve. Top channel, much appreciated, my mate, and everyone else out there who comes and joins us and gets involved in the videos. UTFR says we got rid of CR7 and De Gea. That was nearly 800k a week. He's referring back to FFP, and that is a lot of money off the wage bill when you look at them two players alone.
Yeah, it's a lot of money off the wage bill, but I don't know the maths around it all. If that was the case, then what else have we covered? What else have we helped to get this FFP down? The point about the FFP is finding how much have we got to spend, and none of us know. Do the wages really matter?
Curly X, Donny hasn't really been given a good run and a chance to prove himself. I'm mistaken he's pulled, or one mistake and he's pulled, corrected it for him.
No, it's not one mistake and he's pulled. He's had the chances. Go back, watch his games, find out the fixtures he's played in. He's had the chances, clearly had the chances. If you think he's had the chances, tell me what he's done, because I don't know what he's done to help Man United. I remember him scoring a goal at Watford, got beat 4-1, that famous game, Solskjaer's.
Yeah, his last game.
Right.
It was actually a good goal by Donny, but...
Yeah, good goal. But the thing is, he's had the chances under different managers and he's not performed. If you look at Sancho, Sancho's had the chances. He's still in there. He's still fighting for his place because he's able to do it and do his cameo role. Donny Van De Beek, when he's come on as substitute, has not performed in his cameo role. And you would expect any player given the chance who wants to fight for his place to do that in his cameo role. Donny Van De Beek has never done it. Never. So you tell me if he has, when it was, and how consistent he was doing it.
Cheers, mate.
That's my opinion.
Do you remember when he was actually, not playing on the bench, Donny, under Solskjaer, and Erik ten Hag in his press conference at Ajax actually said it was criminal that he wasn't playing under Solskjaer.
Yeah.
And now we find ourselves like this, and he wants to just get him out of the club. But Erik ten Hag has got a bit of a habit at the moment of saying one thing about a player and doing the total opposite.
Yeah, well,
getting rid.
Well, he knew Donny Van De Beek clearly at Ajax, different football, different philosophy, everything else, environment, you name it, the lot. But as I've said consistently, I wanted Donny Van De Beek. I thought he was a good player. I'm telling you now, and I've said it time and time again, Donny Van De Beek cannot cope with Premier League football. The style, the speed, everything about it. It does not suit his game, period.
I'm just going to go on to Jadon Sancho in a sec, but Martin Palazzo, I've just seen your message, mate, and I will scroll back and have a look at your message, what you've just referred to about FFP. But yeah, going on to Jadon Sancho, there was rumours over the last couple of days that Chelsea were looking at actually buying or loaning Jadon Sancho. So what's your thoughts on that?
No, it's not the time. Erik ten Hag's worked with him. He's gone he's bent over backwards with Sancho, sending him away. He's tried to get him up to match fitness, tried to get him to perform. He's working on Sancho. This is his last year, his last chance as far as I'm concerned. He's not wasted all last year with Sancho to get rid of him right now, just before the window closes. No, he's needed here at United. There will be opportunities for Sancho, and it's all down to him now this year for him to grab it when the opportunities come, and they will come. So let's hope that Sancho gets the potential, what we all thought he had, and performs on the pitch. He's not going anywhere.
You're saying chances will come for Sancho, but in which position? Because I can't see him getting a chance on the left-hand side. I can't see him getting a chance in the middle as a false nine. is his only opportunity then to push Anthony on the right-hand side and see if he can get a first-team spot there?
No, I think there's going to be plenty of chances. There's going to be plenty of games. You're not going to have Anthony playing, Rashford playing. You just don't know about the centre-forward role, if he gets put back in that position, depending on what type of game, who we're playing, what tactics we're going to use. There will be plenty of chances.
I understand that, but for me, Sancho isn't above Garnacho on that left-hand side. His first choice for me currently on that left-hand side.
I agree.
As a false nine, I'm not too sure whether that really works. It might work against certain opposition in the tactics they play. But on the right-hand side, we've got Palestra. There's still rumours around him. Will he be loaned out in this window?
Yeah.
I hope not, because I think Palestra is a good fit to push Anthony and challenge on that right-hand side. So where does Sancho actually fit in?
Sancho fits in when he's given the opportunity. And once he grabs that opportunity, he has to take it like all the other players. There will be opportunities. No, he's not in front of Anthony, he's not in front of Rashford, and he won't be in front of Højlund. Simple as that. But there will be that opportunity. And now is the time for him, when it comes, to grab it. And if he doesn't grab it, then unfortunately, you'll see in the summer the opportunity for someone to go and buy him.
Yeah, Martin Palazzo, I'm just reading through your post that you've done on FFP. Do me a favour, don't mind, mate. Can you put it in an actual comment below the video so I can read it properly, because I just can't see it as a full comment at the moment on the live chat. But I much appreciate you doing a bit of digging on that, and we will discuss it in a later video. Now, going on to other news as well. Well, is it actually news? No, it's not.
Depends what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was actually going to say something, but I think we actually discussed it in yesterday's video. Let me have a look through here.
On what?
No, we've done Varane, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done Varane, yeah. We spoke about Varane.
Amrabat, Sancho. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there, to be honest with you. I've got nothing else to say.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka. His conversation was just come out.
That's it. That's what I was actually thinking of.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I tell you what, I read today, Aaron Wan-Bissaka talking about his time under Erik ten Hag. And there was a couple of things there. He's taught me to be more aggressive, he said, going forward. Now, I look at that, and he's saying there, and it's on the Manchester United website, isn't it? Yeah. So the full interview is on the Manchester United website. But what it is, he's talking about going forward. He's now being taught about going forward, and how basically he's discussing the game with Erik ten Hag. He's not saying it under any previous management or anything like that. He's actually giving a damning verdict on what's gone on since he signed for Man United. He's going on about the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer regime and everything else, and that it was carnage. That's how I look at the conversation. He's enjoying his football now. He's getting better. He's actually
being coached. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't a coach.
He says that.
The people behind him weren't good enough coaches. Look, I love Michael Carrick. I absolutely love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I backed him as long as I could. But we've got a manager here, and he's a coach, and he's a top-class coach as well. And he's got a team behind him that will progress players like Wan-Bissaka, who needed that.
Yeah, but the thing here, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is saying he's being coached.
Yeah, that's right.
He's being coached better and learning to be more aggressive by Erik ten Hag. And he sort of dismissed what went on. He was trying to explain, I think, but the way United have cut the conversation down, I think he's trying to say that he was never taught to about the game. He was basically told, just go out there and play. Absolutely amazing and damning verdict on what was going on until Erik ten Hag got in here. Erik ten Hag is a coach, and he's got his arm around him, and he has brought him on to be a better player. So if you've got time, go to that Manchester United website and look what he says. You have to look at what's in between.
We actually hear from Wan-Bissaka as well, especially in interviews before or after games as well. So I found it pretty interesting in what he said, and it was good to see some honesty there from him as well, because he did get a lot of stick during his time under Solskjaer and after that under Rangnick. And
he's clearly the most improved player under Erik ten Hag. You can clearly see it, and you know, for a player, what we nearly lost. And when you see what he does with his last-ditch tackles, and he's learnt to go forward, he's part of the team now, and he's an important cog in that team. To lose him and to see him play like he is now, that would have been a great shame.
Yeah, there's a few people wanting to talk about Maguire and the updates, but we've done that yesterday, and I don't really want to talk about Maguire, if I'm perfectly honest with you.
What is the updates?
I don't want to
I'll
talk
about him all day.
No. We can't get on to Harry Maguire again.
No.
I feel like I'm going round and round with Harry Maguire.
I know. No, he made me angry yesterday, so I don't want to get angry today. I'm recovering after going over my handlebars on my bike, doing 2 forward rolls, so I don't want Harry Maguire upsetting the rest of my day. No, Harry Maguire is off the table today.
I'll teach you to wear a helmet as well.
Don't need an helmet with this head.
But I'm going to wrap it up there because I don't want to just keep waffling on the live stream. But I'd just like to thank everyone for getting involved in the chat. Everyone who watches the videos as well. It's, we just absolutely love it. That's why we keep doing it. Smash a like if you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe as well to support the channel. And we will be back tomorrow with we're going to do
an early one.
We're going to do a match preview tomorrow, roughly about 1 o'clock, looking at the Arsenal game. And we're also we're back at 5 o'clock to do the Champions League draw. We'll do that live. So if you are available, come and join us and we'll do a live chat going through the draw. So thank you.
Thank you.